that could be too much to ask for, to be honest with you, with this team right now. But who knows? I like to be positive, and I think there's a lot of positives coming back next year. I think Jonathan Brooks, who is going to be special, didn't show it tonight, but I think he's going to be special. I think he'll be good next year. Obviously, Quinn Ewers, another year to develop, another offseason. He looked pretty good in this game, and would have looked amazing. The stat line would have looked amazing, at least, if the ball could have been caught. Xavier Worthy is coming back. People forget Isaiah Nayer was hurt in the offseason. He will be back. That is a huge gain for Texas. Coming in with a good wide receiving class coming in. Brennan Thompson from last year's class, I think, will contribute more. So that will be very nice coming in as well. So a lot. And then on defense, Jalen Ford, we get back. I believe Ryan Watts is coming back because he did play in this game and ended up getting hurt, but I think he's coming back. That'll be huge on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, we'll be missing DeMarvion Overshawn, and Bijan will definitely be our two biggest losses. But overall, this team brings a lot back, guys. And I think this offensive line, with the 7 guys recruited last year, plus the guys that played this year, I think we'll have a pretty good offensive line going into next year as well, too. So, like I said on this channel before and on a couple other channels, I think next year it's going to be between TCU, Baylor, Texas, and Kansas State. I believe those are the 4 teams you have to look out for next year. I think Oklahoma, unless they change dramatically, doesn't have a chance to win the Big 12 next year. I could be 100% wrong on that, but I will brag. I did pick Kansas State to win the Big 12 this year, and they won the Big 12, so that was fantastic. That's about the only thing that went well for me in the season, college football season, and pro season as well. I'm a Broncos fan, so it's been quite a struggle there as well. But it sucks, guys, because you only have the sport for 6 to 7 months, and then it's gone for another 5 months, 6 months. So it's been a fun season, a frustrating season, but it gives us hope going into next season. And by the time we get there, we're going to be all pumped up as Texas fans. We're going to be expecting something we probably shouldn't be expecting, but that's what makes us such a great fan base. So it's been an awesome time hanging out with you guys. Again, we'll put up that score. Texas wins this game 27, or sorry, Washington wins it. Texas did not win this game. Let me repeat. Washington wins this game 27-20. This is the 40 Acres postgame show brought to you by MarkRogersTV. Like I said, guys, if you have any comments, keep them in the discussion or put them in the chat so I can answer them. We have a good time here. We're going to keep going a little bit longer, but so far, not much activity tonight. Guys, I understand it's a late night. It's a weeknight. Holiday season, people are busy, but please join us. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, join us going forward into next season. And it's the 40 Acres postgame show, and usually I have a co-host, so it's even better when he's here. But overall, I think he would just say the same thing I'm saying. Basically, if you would have told State 5 at the beginning of the season, fine with that. But then you watch the season unfold, you're not fine with it. Overall, we wanted more out of this season when watching it unfold, but we didn't get it. We're hoping this is the building block season that we needed to jump into next year and be in the Big 12 championship game. In my opinion, that is the minimum standard next year. I think you have to be there. Winning it should happen, and it should be expected, but we have to at least get there. And that's quite a mountain to climb after going 5-7, then 8-5. And then also, I mean, guys, we're not used to losing bowl games. Let's be honest here. Under Tom Herman, we never lost a bowl game. He struggled during the regular season, but he dominated bowl games. Any big game Tom Herman got you up for. It was all the other games that we struggled with. Steve Sarkisian kind of is inconsistent. He gets us up for random games, to be honest with you. There aren't certain games he gets us up for because we've been blown out in big games before, but we've competed in other big games and won them. So he's all over the place. Like I said, I think the biggest next step for this program is to put a complete half of football together. And when they start doing that, I think that's when we're going to have a chance to win this Big 12. I really believe that. If any of you guys have any more comments, questions, concerns, put them in that chat. I would love to answer them. Again, we are the 40 Acres postgame show brought to you by Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please hit that like button and subscribe down below. It really helps out the channel. Thank you guys very much. Consider going over to Mark Rogers TV and subscribing to the Patreon as well. We'll throw up that score one more time because a couple other people have joined. Washington beats Texas 27-20. Guys, there's really not much to say. I'll run down a little bit of this game a little bit for you if you missed it. Quinn Ewers, 31-47 for 369 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Casey Kane, 4 receptions, 106 yards. That's the type of big play threat we expected from him. And he came through early on in the season, but kind of disappeared late. Xavier Worthy, 7 catches, 84 yards. The one thing that bothers me here, he had 14 targets and had like 3 drops minimum. So it's that again concerning on that part of the ball, that part with Xavier Worthy. Michael Penix, 54 attempts, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. They ran the ball pretty well with Talu Papa, 108 yards, 7.7 per attempt, and 1 touchdown. And then McMillan and Odunze, 58 yards and 57 yards respectively. Both those guys coming into this game had 1,000 yards receiving on the season for both of them. So they're the big play threats. They're pretty much neutralized. But the story of this game is Washington just had 4 drives that they scored on that they wasted like half the game on, basically. So congratulations. That was clearly what they wanted to do, is time management, and it worked perfectly. It worked really well. Congratulations again to Coach DeBoer over there, coming over from Indiana and changing that culture pretty fastly. Him and Mike Elko, in my opinion, have probably done the 2 best jobs of any Power 5 coaches of coming in their first season and just turning it around. Kalen DeBoer and Mike Elko done a great job. I think Mike Elko will eventually find a bigger job from leaving Duke. We'll see what Kalen DeBoer. I don't know if he can get a much better job than Washington. I think Washington's a top 30, top 25 program in the country. So I think it's a good job, and if he keeps it up, maybe to establish him to a Chris Peterson type standard, which would be get him in the playoff every 5 years basically, and win 9 to 10 games every other year. I think he could possibly do that, and that'd be very impressive for him to do at Washington, and see if he wants to leave. He may not. I mean, he's kind of progressed through these coaching rankings pretty quickly, guys. 2 years ago, he was Indiana's offensive coordinator, and then he went to be the head coach at Fresno State for a year, and then he went to and became the Washington head coach. So great job overall by him of moving up and also taking advantage of his situation, guys. He's been great with Washington. I have nothing to say bad about him. Obviously 11-2 season, in my opinion, the second best conference in America. So overall, great season by the Huskies, and they end the season 11-2. Texas ends at 8-5.